Hello and welcome back after that short break, ladies and gents, to the CEVO Pro League with MLG. I'm Metuz joined by Launders, and we are just about to jump into the knife round, I believe. What is it? Straight into pistol, Launders?
Yeah, we're gonna go right into pistol
Right
as
into pistol.
this. Yeah, so Titan get map pick here as their it was NIP's or Titan get side pick, excuse me, as it was NIP's map pick, and so they've decided to go with CT. No surprise there. This map might be a little bit CT sided. I mean, it's not that CT sided, but it might be a 9-6. And sometimes if you get a 10-5, it's not too bad for you as a terrorist if you're going up against the right team. But it's going to be basically a game of matchups. And here we have everyone moving out towards the A site as there's a stack towards B. And this is going to be a retake situation that Titan like to put themselves in. Sometimes you got to trust yourself to retake.
Oh, they're not going to need to if Apex is landing more shots like that. It's a beautiful one click with the USP into the forehead of Exist. He pulls himself back, and now the rest of the team is still lurking around B. They are going to start to make a move now through CT spawn, but the damage is surely being done from Nip as the bomb has been planted. But as you called before, Launders, the retake in effect now from the Frenchman. Apex is somehow still alive with 19 HP to his name. And here comes over some utility in the forms of flashbangs. He's going to connect from Existence, does catch a couple of shots on to Get Right. He's down to 11 HP. Kenny S pushes in, beautiful headshot onto Freiburg, looking for a second as well. Darts across from that player, but it's RPK that comes in onto Arlu, and now it's Get Right in a 1 versus 5. Not much of a chance to pull this one off. He's running through the smoke. He's been taken down from Apex, and Titan do get the retake and don't lose a single player in the process.
Yeah, I mean the A site is just so open. It sometimes can be as easy to retake as it is to take, and that's what Titan trusted themselves to do. I think what was really important, even though they were able to keep 4 or 5 players alive that round, was Apex being able to get that opening frag, get that information, not die too early. That really did stop NIP from being able to take the site as soon as they did, and also gave NIP less of a chance of getting the bomb to explode. So it was a good pick from him and a great retake overall.
Yeah, definitely that quick fire headshot onto Exist made all the difference. Here we go, it's Lambs to the slaughter through mid. Apex opens up with 2 quick fire frags. There's RPK with a P90. Was spotted before on sandbags, but it's such a difficult position to flush out if you have no grenades. And again, Titan win the round without losing a single player. To be expected though, that was an eco round after all.
Yeah, it does seem like sometimes no round win should go unnoticed, but I guess there was a pretty much a Glock save as we have a early buyout for NIP who are going to take advantage of the fact that there are some SMGs left on the board, and the fact that they didn't kill anyone last round, they know that most likely someone isn't upgrading, so this might be their best opportunity to take a win. I wonder if they're going to shoot their AKs early here, or if they're going to wait until they have to execute, and Freiburg's already making noise, so he's alerting them to the fact that they bought.
But they're going to lose the first player. It's a very good point that you raised. Kenny S did not upgrade from that MP7. They still have a P90 as well, but so far it doesn't seem to matter a great deal because Titan are holding fast. There is the first frag on the board for NIP in this round, and indeed the entire map so far. Freiburg gets dropped from RPK. There's Apex pushing out of main. And Forest is dead and buried, and again, familiar territory. Titan have a huge advantage in this round, and it was a buy-up as well from Nip, so Get Right and Exist. What can you do from this position? They're going to get the bomb down. But again, Titan in these retakes, Launders, you fancy them every day.
Yeah, they've got to go for an early pick and even it up, and that's what Get Right does right away. And now there's only 3 players alive. Apex is very low.
He is extremely low, down to 18 HP. 1 bullet will end his life more than likely, and Get Right in a position they're probably not going to think to check here, but there's Kenny S with the opening and gets his second as well. And that will be the easy defuse. In the end, Titan take the 3-0.
Yeah, that was a rough spot. I think where Get Right was, he had to watch 2 angles. Alu couldn't protect him totally from checkers, so he had to look back and forth and swinging his AK back. I think Kenny spotted that and took him out, but that could have been very ugly, and it was very good that Titan were able to win that round, obviously for them. And as they got picks across the map, even though Get Right got probably the most important kill of the round in the B and opened up the site, because Titan did such a good job of punishing them across the board, it didn't really matter, and it made that retake a lot easier, once again.
So we do see a bit of a force up here from NIP. Got some Kevlar and Tech 9s with CZs as well. And these weapons definitely can work in the right hands, but the way that Titan have been playing CT thus far, you don't expect them to make too many wrong steps, and it is going to be a full all-out A push from them, and Get Right is the man that drops from Apex. Maniac gets himself the assist. from Catwalk. Now Apex is spraying through that smoke, heavily tags at Freiburg. There he goes in to finish it off, but he switches weapons at the worst possible time, and he gets put 6 foot under for this round. And suddenly it's the tag team duos, RPK and Existence, up against Forest and Exist. This is going to be a tough one. 1 minute to play with, though.
Oh, truly awkward spot. Oh, Exist gets the better of RPK in a situation where he had the drop on him.
That's going to leave Existence in a 1v2. He knows who one of those players are, and he has picked off the head, but there's Forest with the AWP, doing work for his team. And that was a pretty important round as well, Launders, because had they lost that, we'd be back into not necessarily economic turmoil, but it wouldn't have been fantastic times for them. So a big round on the board for the Swedes.
And if RPK on the site there was able to get that pick on Existence, who he got like 3 free bullets off on and just missed the head, they would have won that round for sure. He had the best position, he had the site to himself. There's a player in Squeaky 1 at 4 completely stranded. I mean, he didn't even have to move to win that round, and didn't know where anyone was, but unfortunately for him missed. And sometimes a frag can just make everything fall apart there. So
yeah, definitely. And it seems that early on here in the 5th round, they're going to try and do just that, crumble down with these entry picks. Freiburg, who is an entry fragger for NIP, he's looking into vent, but Kenny S with the shot on to get right half through the smoke. Beautiful reactions from him. And if Titan want to pick up this best of 2, he's going to have to be on form. He's one of those players that we both single out as being a player to watch here. An Existence, though, onto Forest, who just tries to sneak his way into Squeaky. And Titan are definitely coming out on top. Apex with another beautiful set of frags. He gets 3 in this round. 4-1 for the Frenchman.
Wow, Apex is such an amazing rifler. It just, you know, when you get 3 kills in a sequence like that, it just shows how much steadiness you have and just how much control over your how much control over your rifle you have. And sometimes when he does that, it's just amazing. And he does really have those moments quite often. And to come away with that round once again, winning picks to win the round. Again, the only round that NIP have won so far is this force-up eco or half buy where they rushed A. It's not a good sign for them.
Yeah, these slow, steady rounds are getting picked to pieces, and Apex is an 11-1 scoreline. He is just bossing it right now after just 5 rounds, this being the 6th. So NIP back to that eco once again. Maybe the second time will be the charm for them. But they are playing this one slow, whereas last time they rushed in with eco, as you mentioned, this time it's slow, and it is going to pay off for them. Apex, that talisman, gets dropped down, get right with the Tech 9, spins round the corner, and gets his 2nd kill of the round, and that is absolutely massive for Nip, because the middle has crumbled. It's all in Existence, who's on boxes, in checkered. He gets 2 frags. It probably had no right to do so, but he's being chased in upon from Arlu, who gets his 1st kill of the map. And that puts NIP in a 1-man advantage, 3-on-2. Let's get the headshot onto Kenny S. Nice work from him. And now it's all on Maniac. I think a player dropped there from NIP as well, but they are going to be trying to keep this one ahead of themselves. And there's a beautiful CZ headshot from Forest. So 4-2. I think we're going to have a pause waiting for the 5th to reconnect. Yes, we are.
Yeah, and he gets back in real quickly. Now, once again, that's another eco round that NIP were able to win on a full rush into a site, and that might be off the back of just shooting better that round. Maybe it was the fact that they had mobility when they were shooting, right, with their pistols, running Tech 9s and those CZs, but ultimately catching Titan off guard in a very dramatic way. I think Titan are much more prepared for a little bit of a mid-round game where less nades are being thrown, and people are coming out one at a time trying to work a pick. And in those 1-for-1 duels, Titan are doing such a great job, and NIP, are very confident in a default. We'll be happy to do that, but for whatever reason, can't stand up to Titan right now. But since they won that eco, they destroyed the economy of Titan. Titan are actually on a full save.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a couple of players that maybe could have rummaged in the back pocket and forced up, but it definitely wouldn't have been ideal. They're looking for the long haul here, not just quick, cheap rounds. NIP, though, we've seen that on these slow rounds, they're not necessarily the greatest, but with this eco in effect, you're seeing 4 players stacked from Titan onto A, with just that man Existence on B. So this is going to be really rough for them, especially if Nip start to push towards B, but they're going for the A Launders, and this could backfire horribly.
Yeah, it's possible. They do have 1 molly, and they can work the side slowly, but they could easily lose picks here.
Yeah, they are losing a lot of players of the Frenchmen. I thought they may have a glimmer of hope in this round, but it's just Apex that puts bullets to faces, and the rest of his team falls down. So Nip keep 4 weapons going forward, including that AWP, and their economy is actually looking pretty damn healthy right now. 10k on Alu, for example. That's a large chunk of change in his back pocket.
I mean, yeah, you save a round and you win the round that you save. You get the win bonus, plus you were going to buy it anyway, so you just have so much money left over. And you've also won yourself an eco round from the other team, so that's another free round of money. And just winning an eco round can be so drastic for both teams. Now, Titan actually have 2 Falmuses, are very low on nades. They have 4 smokes, but overall don't have much utility. And so can't let this go until the late round, where they'll probably lose.
This from Titan, though, 2 very aggressive pushes through mid-Apex and RPK, getting crossfire onto Garage. Unbeknownst to them, though, there's only just the one player to their right-hand side, and that is Freiburg, who's lurking. Meanwhile, Get Right, on to B. And the rest of the team lurking around A. They're going to be pushing this one oh so slowly, using every single second allocated to them, and so far nothing's really happening between the two teams. Here we go, we are going to see some action for us. On top of Boost, tries to get an early pick onto RPK, but he gets shut down. And we have seen that when NIP lose the first player in these rounds, they typically just grind to a halt and Titan walk away with it. However, Kenny S is just going to go ahead and try and make that a resounding case as he gets himself on. RPK sprays too many bullets, he's got nothing left in the tank, but there's Apex, I should say, and Existence chiming in to fill in the blanks, and now it's all on Exist. He's picked himself up one, given his position away on Forklift. Not long for this world, surely. He does have the bomb, but that's about all he's got going for him. He's being surrounded by Frenchmen, and Kenny S with a beautiful op shot makes it 5-3.
Wow, who comes around the corner clearing that? That was crazy. Yeah, it was just as you say. I mean, they lose the opening pick, and then they lose 2 or 3 more. I mean, they really have to be mad at themselves. So far, Titan have won every single full rifle round. And right after having to save, losing a rifle round versus a half buy, they've come back to win another. And NIP do have 3 rounds. I mean, the ratio is important, especially as we go late into the half. And the economy doesn't matter; it just matters how many rounds you put on the board. But ultimately, NIP aren't going to be happy about the fact that they're just getting outplayed on the rounds that they shouldn't be losing, if it is the fact that they're able to win ecos. It's really the story of the half right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. But Nip are going to be looking to get this set piece in motion. 2 quick fire kills for them. Alu and Get Right from mid. RPK maybe just getting a bit too predictable now in mid. Pushed it a bunch of times. He has been punished a couple. And that leaves the rest of his team in a real precarious position, trying to fill in for that 2-man deficit. Get Right's just going to waltz right through mid. The rest of his team, barring Exist, are moving on to B, and this is surely going to be a free plant. They're still waiting around, expecting a couple CTs to be there in the midst, but all Titan players over on A. They're not interested in this one just yet.
They've definitely picked the right site here. And, you know, from the way Titan are playing this, it's pretty much... Well, they're actually just playing straight up the save right now, as they're all stacked up in Squeaky, but I figured if they knew NIP were coming A, they would just 3-stack over to A. That's probably the best place to win a 3v5. And if it is the case that they don't come to your site, then you just save and you get away with 3 guns. You buy next, and you won't have to put yourself on a save to follow. So NIP are going to come away with a rifle round of their own. They're going to do it off the back of a single pick right at mid. That was RPK. It was crucial. And once they made a half rotate over to another site and drop 1 man in the save, it just only made sense that they were able to take B. Once again, I think Get Right is very confident in some of those previous rounds. We've seen him run into B and get single pick.
Oh dear.
This save is falling apart. Whoa, everyone goes down.
Jeez. And that was a case of 2 players funneling through Squeaky, and Kenny S missed a huge shot, and they just piled through and killed them. That was brutal, because now they go from a position where they could maybe force up a couple for masses and try and really go for this 10th round to absolutely nothing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, if you're holding the angle and op like that, you're calling, this is what I'm watching, I have the door, and you miss that 1 shot. That window of opportunity is huge for NIP, who have an op on cycle and 2 people who aren't even looking at them. So getting in there and dropping 3 guns is enormous. Very unfortunate for Titan.
Yeah, and Nip started pretty slowly. They were 4-1 behind at one stage, but they've definitely started to pick up momentum. And RPK once again gets picked off from mid. This time around it's Freiburg, not Get Right. He was peering towards B, making sure no one pushes through Toxic. And with that opening pick, we've already seen that Nip are very happy to go ahead and make the most of that mid. Give them an inch, they will take a mile. Kenny S rotating through towards Connector. So is Maniac. And this over-rotation really could cost them, because they're putting everybody on B. And once again, the Swedes are looking... They've got their sights trained on that A site, and they can easily just push through and get that bomb planted, and it will be their 5th round.
Yeah, once again, a misread here, but at the same time, On these ecos, you can't have the best information possible. You kind of have to make a decision based on where you think the other team is going to posture towards, based on very little information, and they've just happened to pick the wrong site once again. And we'll exit here to look for picks because they aren't going to lose money for dying. If they can pick up a gun, it's going to be a big win for them. But NIP have spotted a couple at B, and I think they know what's going on.
Yeah, they've read the script. They know exactly what's coming up. It'll be pretty huge if Titan can get themselves a couple weapons away from their NIP, which looks to be what could potentially happen here. Apex has been caught, did do significant damage to Exist before falling, but the rest of his team surely not able to bridge that gap. Yeah, right, it does get dropped, so 2 picks with a full eco is not terrible from Titan. The problem is that the currency of rounds is starting to slip away from them, and they're on the CT side, so it's important that they start to bounce back here. They can't afford to let any more of these rounds slip.
No doubt. Alu actually just did die with the bomb there, and I don't know if he's going to rebuy the op, but that's a huge investment. That's quite a bit of money. He lost 6,700 or so, including his nades, that is. But now Titan are evened up with NIP, who are able to win the last rifle round. I think one of the critical things, as you pointed out, just to reiterate, was that they were able to take mid control, and that was versus RPK, who was holding it. And I think both teams recognize the importance of it. And that's why the rounds end so early. It's like, if you don't win mid control, you're losing the round. And here we have a really great mid take. Garrett coming out 180 and killing both players, holding it down.
That was an absolutely sublime pop flash, followed up from Get Right, and he gets himself 2. And he has been a standout player so far in this one. Existence must be scratching his head, wondering what the hell just happened to the rest of his team. All 4 players by himself have been dropped. And NIP with a free plant onto A. Existence, what can he do from this position? He's going to do as much damage as possible. There's one, but Alu from main just picks him off with ease with that AWP. And yeah, I fully agree. It was pretty huge just backtracking it that he would die to that bomb. It just seems like a complete lack of focus there. Just his concentration dropped because there's no reason for him to die in that situation, really. He knew everyone was on B.
Yeah. Oh, he was stuck at... There were 2 players outside B, and like Gerrit and Forrest died, I think. And he was like stuck at truck, trying to kite them off, so he couldn't like push out of truck. I think that was his biggest issue. He could have gone to highway, I think, and, yeah, in hindsight, and got out of there early. But once again, that NIP were able to win mid and win the round. I mean, the team who wins mid is also the team that wins the round really quickly, like Titan or NIP. They seem to fall apart instantly at both sites as soon as mid is taken.
Oh, absolutely. Mid is that key area, because of course if you do take it from a T's perspective, it gives you 3 extra avenues of attack. You can go through vents, highway, or connector, so it really keeps the CTs guessing on their tiptoes, on the edge of their seats. And you can see there that Freiburg doing just that. He gets the mid control, goes through vent, gets a pick off onto Existence, and before you know it, Titan are just at 6s and 7s. It's 7-5 now to NIP, and I did not think I'd see the scoreline after it went 4-1 in Titan's favour, the way they made it as well.
Yeah, for sure. It was 4-1. I mean, there's an early buy for NIP. Titan have like 3 or 4 rifle rounds within those 5 wins. Like, yeah, I think it's quite literally 3 rifle rounds out of 5 rounds in total. NIP have won 2 ecos. They've earned themselves a lot of saves from Titan, and that's a huge reason they have 7 rounds. I mean, overall, Titan have been stronger, but in more of the recent rounds, NIP have just been dominating all of a sudden, both on rifles and on ecos.
Kenny does get that shot, looking for a second, turns around. I think he assumed a flashbang was coming his way, but that does seal the deal as far as he's concerned. Apex, though, from vents, channeling his inner Snacks, who loves to do this on Virtus Pro, just peeking around, gets the cheeky frag. And now Titan are looking to stamp their authority on this map once more. Maniac with a couple nice shots from his own, but it exists now in a 4 versus 1, pardon me, although Maniac is very, very low. He does have the bomb, just the one flashbang to his name, and Launders, I can't see him pulling this one off. It'd be a miraculous play if he even got a couple of kills from this position.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. And oh, he comes out with a great headshot to kick it off. RBK is gonna be holding this angle on him. I wouldn't be surprised if he clears it, but unpeaking just at the right moment. And with 40 seconds left on the clock, he has the bomb. He is spotted. He's kind of trapped in A main. There's no reason he should win this round. I'm sure you feel the same way, but at the same time, Maniac is low, and they might let him out.
He should definitely never win this round. This would be a round thrown from Titan rather than a round won by Exist, in my opinion. And there we go, the crossfire. It's the problem, especially attacking earlier on. There's so many areas to try and cover off. There's so many different places the CTs could be hiding. And they called he was definitely pushing A as well. So easy peasy in the end for Titan. But they did lose a couple players at the end that maybe they'll be feeling, because you look at their economy, it's far from being perfect. If they were to lose a couple pistols, or sorry, not a couple pistols, a couple of weapons here, a couple of M4s, they may be struggling for that final round of the half.
Yeah, I think that once again highlighted how important mid was, or at least has been in this game so far. NIP, I think, felt like they've conditioned Titan into playing mid heavily, taking control of it, because even if they have, NIP have been able to take it one successfully, and decided to go over towards sites. And that time they traded 1-for-1 at B with Kenny S. But from there got picked off once again, and once they tried to execute through A, had no success. So will that mean that Titan is kind of in control again, and will they try to take mid once again? I mean, they tier 2 here right now.
This get right that comes out ahead once again. It's been these 50-50 scenarios where NIP seem to be bouncing ahead every single time. And how Titan...
He reverse boosted.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
wow.
absolutely did. Completely caught them off, and now he's gone through connector and catches Kenny. There is existence, but it's just a drop in the ocean at this point, because the bomb's being planted once again, and it's in a very open position as well from Forest. Easy to defend. And existence may just think about saving that M4. I can't feasibly see him clutching this, but he seems to be going for it.
So this is what they did last round, actually. NIP sent 2 right to checker, smoked off B main. Oh, we can just find a pick. But they smoked off checker, or smoked off B main, went 2 into checker, traded 1-for-1 for Kenny S. It didn't have that extra player to boost in the vents, but that's what they were planning to do, and followed through with it on this round. This is the spot one person out here that's exists. He does go down. Saving this off would be great, and he actually has 4 kills on the round already, so looking for an exit ace, but I don't know if Force will give it to him.
That doesn't look likely, but he does save up the AWP. It's sad times, though, for Titan, because they're going to be forced up onto pistols, maybe a couple for masses as well. Well, they do get an M4 out of it, so it could be worse, but far from ideal. You look at their grenades here, Launders. Just Apex really has a full stack. He doesn't have a HE. 2 players without anything. No defuse kits as well, so if that bomb does get planted, they're in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is a perfect time to take mid. You do need nades to control it, and mid is definitely the buzzword of the day, as it seems like that's where all the action's happening in one way or another. And it's pretty fantastic how NIP were able to find a new way to attack it, and also deal with 2 players who were there knowing that, whoa, NIP would take it. Force actually hit Maniac through the wall, standing there at quad, but Maniac gets flashed in.
Yeah, nice flash from him. Does get the rewards, reaps the benefits onto Forest. But there is the return kill, the answer from NIP. Freiburg goes through as well, and suddenly it's RPK in existence. And Apex really has kind of came off the boil a tiny bit. He was 11 for 3 at one point, I remember saying. Now 14 for 10, so definitely has taken his foot off the accelerator. I think a lot of that, though, is down to the mid-control, because he was the benefactor, if you will, of all of these kills that were coming in. Now existence in a 1 versus 4, and does get the first kill in this exchange.
Yeah, that's very true. And once again, another round that Titan should never win this time, and they'll double peek him. Just as one of the strategies you can do, you can let someone up to get into your crossfire, or you can double peek them. I think that's something we see Envy do a lot, which I really like. Yeah, that's really true. Apex has been kind of the standout rifler that played mid, got that insane 3K that one round early in the half, and was a huge reason they were able to appear so dominant when they were up 4-1, and for some reason have switched out to play RPK and Existence, who I think typically play there at mid, but have done a pretty terrible job holding it.
The other thing as well that really just dawned on me is we haven't really seen any sick clutch plays. We haven't really seen any 1v1, 2v2 scenarios, maybe once or twice, but as you called before, it's the case of if mid crumbles, that team that's on the receiving end of the battering just loses very quickly afterwards. We're not seeing a whole lot of fight being put up after that. So,
yeah. Do
you think that's indicative of Cash, or just the way these two teams approach it?
I think, Cash is a map where you can take either site or mid and be successful, but if you know how to take mid and what to do with it, and what was a very interesting stack towards A that's actually working out really well. Already opening up with 2 picks, stopping any aggression, and will Titan decide to continue on with their A take? We'll get back to that point in a second.
Alrighty, Existence needs to be pushing through, and Exist can't do too much about the 2 players that were in his face. Apex down to 4 HP though, so some of that damage has been done. Freiburg peeks and nearly gets a bullet, well, 2 bullets between the eyes. He definitely caught one of them, down to 3 HP himself. and a minute to play with. Titan don't have to fully commit just yet. The bomb carrier of Apex, that man with 4 HP, is moving towards B. Forest is here, laid in wait, just has to connect one of those USP rounds, and it's lights out for Apex, who's still biding his time and waiting, hoping the rest of his team can do some work through main. Onto mid, and that seems to be getting shut down from Forest and Freiburg, who get a beautiful crossfire. Existence comes out, just to see his teammates laid in front of him. And surely not, Launders, this would be a fantastic clutch. There are 2 players that are 1 click away from death, though, so we've seen stranger things happen, but the time itself is ticking against him. 25 seconds, and they've heard exactly where he is. And he is being tagged up, and should be finished off. There we go, Forest with the USP. Puts NIP 10-6 ahead.
Yeah, no problem. And they answered the strat perfectly. Whereas on the pistol, Titan actually were able to come away with that CT pistol, stacking the wrong site, but I think planning the entire time to retake A. So that was their strength on that pistol round. If team went B, they would win, and if they go A, they were totally ready for it anyway. But NIP that round stacked the right site and got the kills and put a round on the board, and they're up to 10 now. But to that point that we were talking about earlier, I mean, some teams know what to do with mid. They'll take it, and they know exactly how to abuse it. And NIP is obviously one of those teams, which Titan is too. But Cash, you can do A and B, fully take the site, and as we saw Titan, they're able to retake it, and that's what the map is all about. The fact that it's pretty even across the board. Taking the site can go 50-50 depending on how good your site holds are, and holding the site can be just as easy depending on your team or playstyle. But with mid and being able to split, I mean, we didn't even get to see them split. It's like they took mid and the picks just came out across the board as there was so much confusion. But
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
it's kind of the meat grinder in mid, and right now, NIP are forcing Titan down. Just 2 players left, make that 1. Apex in the 1 versus 4, and he's not long for this world. P90 spray to perfection from Exist. And that will give the 5-round advantage now to NIP, who are seemingly starting to move on to cruise control. You're expecting these next couple rounds, though, because Titan are back onto Eco once again.
Yeah, let's see if Titan have any success like NIP did, who really threw caution to the wind on their half-buys and just tried to take something quickly. Had success at mid, had success at B, had success at A on those rushes, on those Ecos. And you could say that was a failure on the part of Titan, who got Eco'd, but obviously NIP hit some shots on those rounds. Got a full Glock save here. Did they actually plant last round?
No, they got absolutely destroyed. Yeah, so they're going to go for the Glock save and maybe a buy next round. And they'd love to get a couple kills in this round. Maybe even a bomb plant would be icing on the cake. But when you consider that it's a full buy up versus nothing, it would be surprising to say the least if Nip let this one slip. Here comes a grenade over the top from Get Right. You can see all Titans players are dropping in health. Everybody around 50% or below. There's Freiburg from Toxic, gets himself 2. Looking for a third. Last player's Apex once again, and Alu's in hot pursuit. There we go. Apex jumps up to try and get a sneaky, cheeky Glock frag, but he ends up getting put 6 foot under, and 12-6 now for NIP. But we will see a buy-up from Titan with an AWP.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I thought we were looking at the second round of the half. Okay, that makes more sense. So I thought they Glock saved without getting a bomb planted by on the 3rd round, but they were actually just saving up for as many nades as possible on this round, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, you can invest a little bit and guarantee getting the bomb down, or you can just full save, throw the round away, which I think they did to kind of talk about what to do next, and have enough money to buy, your Molotovs and full flashes and everything. Get Right. Oh, boosting up. I don't think they hurt him. I do have my volume very low, but on Apex's screen, didn't seem like they hurt him. And he's going to be up here with a P90, actually, holding off A, where they have kind of a stack towards vents and mid. He goes down right away.
Yeah, Apex goes and pre-fires that spot. Maniac onto Exist, who's at the back of Quad, who eats a grenade for his troubles. And now Alu's trying to push in alongside Freiburg to retake this site. It was going so well up until the point that Kenny S just spun around and said, no thank you, and takes down the Finn. That brings it into a 4-on-1. Forest, what can he do from this position? It looks like he wants to save, and he is going to be peeking onto RPK and gets the shot as well. And something else I was going to mention there, Launders, is that Kenny S went for the glass cannon, had no armor this round, and is still alive, so didn't eat any unnecessary grenades, and Forest is really laying down the economic hurt onto Titan. He's picked up 3 players in these
Yeah.
exit frag kind of scenarios.
Yeah, it's already become a situation where Existence doesn't even want to go for this. I mean, with 4 players alive, it makes sense economically to just try to take the 1 player down. You know, maybe 2 for 1 in the worst case, but losing 3 like that on a save is huge. I mean, those are Forrest very aware right now too, catching Kenny S perfectly on an off angle as he dropped out of vents. But yeah, him buying that op with no armor is a risk. I'm surprised he actually couldn't afford armor, but is a risk definitely worth taking. I guess as long as you hit your first shot, and he did do that. So it was a critical round, but already Titan are poor. I mean, it was a huge eco, or a huge save, excuse me, from Forrest.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to force them onto a Galil. And Maniac, just the one flashbang. So, again, Titan win the round, but just by the skin of their teeth. And Freiburg spraying down through the flashbang, gets himself 2. That is absolutely sublime. I'm not sure how much he knew about that, but being in the right position at the right time makes all the difference. Get right. It's a frag. They're from Main. Just pushes around Squeaky, completely catches Titan with their pants down. And now RPK and Kenny S, I mean, they've got it all to do, Launders. They've got a lot of time to play with, but the bomb's been dropped. And NIP, they are just lurking. They can sense the blood in the water, and they're not going to allow Titan to get through onto this bomb. It's in a horrible spot for the Frenchman, honestly.
Yeah, the only issue for Titan right now is that there's so much time left on the clock that they don't want to save. Getting this bomb and winning 2v5 when everybody is watching the bomb, knowing exactly where you are, is going to be the most difficult thing to how to do. And Kenny S is jumping, tossing mollies. Him and RPK go down. That's 4 kills on the board for Freiburg. That's a huge round.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Top fragging on the entire server, 18 for 11 with 4 assists. And on Titan, Apex is still top, but 11 for 3 at one point, and now 16-15. So NIP are starting to walk away with this game. And again, yeah. Titan, they're on full Glocks.
Yeah. Once again, we've seen some really great rounds from Titan so far in this match, but a lot of the crucial rounds, a lot of eco rounds, which were worth 2 sometimes, went the way of NIP, and after winning a second pistol, have taken a really substantial lead. Almost insurmountable, in my opinion. I mean, they're basically one away if they're able to win the next rifle round here from winning the game, as Titan will be on a complete force buy on the 15th round. So if Titan aren't able to win this next rifle and simply win several rounds in a row while also not losing too many people on those rounds, like we saw Force kill 4 people then it's going to be way too hard for them to come back. I mean, economically, they've just been destroyed. I mean, if Titan did save those 4 guns, right, and then lost the round to follow, they'd be able to buy again, but didn't have that luxury this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, as you say, it's almost got to be flawless from Titan from this point onwards after this round. They can't afford to even lose weapons in these. And you can see that Forrest is going to town once again from Checkered. Going to be pulling out the CZ, just dinking across. Finally connects the bullet onto Kenny S. There's Maniac with 2 of his own. No one checked the box. So they're down. But NIP, they've got enough funds to just buy right back up again. They've got 2 warps as well in the mix. So they're in a really, really good shape.
Yeah, they're feeling good. I mean, this is going to be the force buyout for Titan, who do not feel like playing the tie right now. Kenny S is able to afford his op. I think that was pretty much their goal, as this is a Kenny S-centric team. But he's going to be required to have an impact. I mean, this is going to be up against 2 ops, excuse me, from Malu and Forrest. And Forrest has been amazing, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this duel.
Yeah, he's really been on point, but it's actually Kenny S that comes out ahead there, looking for the second. They heard Freiburg jumping down from the vent. There is the pop and the double kill from him. And he's still got 65 HP to play with, so he can now just pull himself back, but he goes in for thirds and gets the headshot onto Kenny S, and the 4th as well. Unbelievable play from Freiburg. He gets taken down, no ace for him today, but the damage has been done, and that was a huge round for NIP, who now find themselves at 8 map points.
What a player. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. The first 2 kills, that pop flash, killing both players and Checkers. The one in the back completely blind. Coming out, flashing B main, knowing someone's going to push through the smoke, hitting that USP headshot. That was insane. And that was recovery from right after me saying that Forrest will most likely win the duel. And Titan actually came out with a great double peek that allowed the attention to be taken away from Kenny S as he picked Checker. And that almost worked out really well in their favor until Freiburg came in. Oh man, just beast moded it. That was amazing.
That really goes to show, in my opinion, an underrated aspect of Counter-Strike is timing. And Freiburg's timing, this map, has just been on point. We've seen so many pop flashes from him. Just comes out, double kills here, double kills there. Turns around on its head. That looked like it could be going in Titan's favour after getting that opening pick. But there we go again. This time Existence with the bomb running towards him. And he gets punished. Nice shot there from Maniac with the P250. But this should be an IP. They should be taking this first map and moving towards Inferno. It's all on Maniac. F-Forest with a double. And 16-7 is the end scoreline. What a performance from an IP.
That was fantastic. That was... I'm not getting over that 4K for a long time. That was beautiful. It's a shame you couldn't get the ace there, but after all that, I mean, it was just as good in my opinion.
No, it was absolutely phenomenally good. 25 frags he finished on that half, which I think that's fitting for Freiburg. He did such a good job. And we do start to move forward onto Inferno, which was the choice of Titan. They had the choice between Inferno and Cobblestone. I was a bit kind of perplexed as to why they wouldn't pick Cobblestone after some of their performances, although you did say they've lost recently. Maybe that was in the back of their mind.
Yeah. They lost recently. I mean, they didn't lose that recently. It was a couple of months ago, or a month ago, to... They did beat Titan 16-13 on this map, so I mean overall it's going to be a strong map for both. I think Titan obviously are confident right now as they did choose it, but it will be still a mission for them, I think, to actually come away with 16 rounds versus NIP, one of the most classically best known maps for that NIP have played over the course of just CSGO's history, but a lot of things change, you know. It does go week by week sometimes with people's best maps.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's certainly true. And hell, even CS goes that way. You know, if someone doesn't show up for a particular match, isn't playing on form, it can really hamper the rest of their team. But guys, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break while we wait for the second map. We have all the players on the server, so it really should be a short one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for map number 2.